Okay. I think it's doing it now. Yeah, it is. Okay. All right. Hey, everybody. It took us a little bit to get online today. I don't know why, but it did. Must be the heat. So anyways, we are so excited. Today is Wednesday. I hope that wherever you are, that you have better conditions in the air because it has been a little bit wonky around here. We didn't do any outside activities yesterday. So, but I think today things are getting back to a little bit normal. And anyways, it's sunny, it's pretty. And hey, Laura, how you doing? You look awesome. How's your day?
Thank you. You look beautiful too. I'm doing great. It's Wednesday, the middle of the week. And, I got so excited about this topic because right now strawberries are in their peak season. So I don't know, has any of you guys ever went strawberry picking? Have you ever gone strawberry picking? Oh, it's kind of like,
Blueberry, but not strawberry.
yeah, strawberries. And it's like they're down in the ground and you kind of got to crawl down there to pick them. We did this in Michigan. So it's like pick one, eat one, pick one, eat one. It's like by the time you get to the end of the line, you're like got all these strawberry baskets, but you have eaten so much, you're like sick of strawberries. But there's so many reasons why you should eat strawberries. These berries benefit your memory, boost your immune system, and then keep your heart healthy too. And that's what we're going to talk about today because a lot of people don't know. I mean, I'm reading some of the stuff and I was just fascinated. It's an iconic summer fruit. I mean, everybody eats them. You go to parties, they have them on the table with other fruit. They're delicious in lemonade. Do you ever do that in lemonade? Uh,
Or wine.
how about, yeah, wine? Yeah, that's a good one. Or strawberry shortcake. That my new thing is I do strawberries in my jello and stuff.
Ooh.
So that I put a lot of strawberries in my jello. But there's so many benefits of strawberries and the nutrients in there are just unbelievable. And that's what makes strawberries good for you. So Debbie, let's get going with this. Why
Well,
is strawberries good for you?
well, here's the thing is, you guys, I mean, when you think about balancing out your diet with food, you really should try to do the best you can to get your fruits and your vegetables because they're so important, right? And so, but there's some different things to know that like strawberries are loaded with vitamin C, which is crazy. And vitamin C is so good for you. It helps you, with fighting off all kinds of stuff and also strawberries are also loaded with antioxidants. And we've talked about antioxidants, we've talked about your immune system. And I think that it's kind of interesting because everything that we talk about here, we're talking about getting our bodies to be the best versions of what we are trying to achieve, right? So we're trying to look at like, how can you balance that out, So that handful of strawberries opposed to that handful of something else like pretzels, okay, which don't hold any food value, you're better off going for the strawberries, along with the fact that strawberries have a lot of fiber in them. So anyways, there's some different ingredients in there, but they also say that if you eat 8 medium strawberries, which is a nice helping, that's 160% of your daily intake of what you should of vitamin C. And vitamin C is definitely something that's very good for you to have. Also, they have potassium, folic acid, and magnesium. So that's really good because those are other items. Other strawberries or strawberries in general have less sugar. So Lori and I were talking for a few seconds beforehand, and we were saying that a lot of people I like to follow low carb. I don't do it hardcore, but I try to eliminate carbs. But there's not a lot of sugar in strawberries, so you are not getting that sugar. The natural sugar is better than the regular sugar, but you're not getting even that. So with that, Laura, I want to turn it over to you because one of my favorite topics is what the next benefit is that it can do. So go ahead.
Well, first of all, I'm going to go back to the vitamin C. They're saying you're better off eating strawberries than taking supplements of the vitamin C.
Mm-hmm.
So, and like I said, you can get it in such abundance right now. I got 2 pounds of strawberries yesterday for $2.49, and I thought that was a big deal. And they were absolutely beautiful. And right away when I got home, I couldn't wait to eat them. So yeah, the first thing that I see here is boost your brain power. That's one of Deb's favorites, right?
Yep.
And they did a study with 16,000 participants over 6 years. And they found out that if you eat berries and strawberries, that it could lessen 34% less of Alzheimer's. So you will be protected from Alzheimer's 34% if you eat strawberries. I hope I said that right. Did I say that right?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, it says here, in more good news, strawberry lovers, the results of the Rush Memory and Aging Project show that people who ate strawberries were 34% less likely to develop Alzheimer's disease. So researchers believe that protective effects are due to antioxidants and safeguard cells. So you get antioxidants in strawberries, and it's going to, and also another thing that it does, it reduces inflammation.
Hmm.
Because all all it does is it takes away that inflammation. For the queen of inflammation right here, since I've lost the weight and since I've been eating a lot of berries, a lot of strawberries, I could definitely feel the inflammation almost completely gone. I don't have that as much aches and pains with my joints like I did before. So yeah, so swelling and irritation, inflammation, it helps with all that. It's a key factor in the development of Alzheimer's disease is inflammation. Did you know that?
I had no idea.
I
And you
had
know
no
what?
idea on that too.
It really makes sense. I mean, you think about it. I mean, if you really want to get down to it, the earth, I mean, everything that comes from the earth, like that's grown, it's got such a healthy component to it. So
Yeah.
it doesn't surprise me. I'm definitely, I think that's so cool.
It says systematic inflammation is a key factor in the development of Alzheimer's disease.
Yeah.
So, so you got to start protecting yourself now. Like if you're in our age in the 60s, early 60s, we're getting to that point, where people are getting dementia and Alzheimer's. And I mean, you're in the 30s and 40s, take advantage of knowing all this information and, using fruits and vegetables when they're in their prime is a good thing to have. We should do that one day, Debbie. We should do a thing about or somehow post when certain things are in their prime.
Yeah.
What year? Because a lot of people don't know, and it depends where you live too. So, all right, Deb, next is you.
Okay, okay, so we're tag teaming today. Okay, so we talk so much about your immunity, okay, and everything is basically wrapped around that, okay? If your body's immune system is stoked, more than likely anything that comes across to you, you're going to be able to battle it better, okay? And so strawberries are definitely a very good source of boosting your immune system. I love how they talk about this, and I love that they say that it can also play an important role because you get so much good vitamin C from it to actually aid in wound healing, which I never knew that. I didn't realize that vitamin C until I just read this right now, which is crazy. Okay. But also researchers say that vitamin C increases. Now, this is another thing I didn't realize, the production of T cells and B cells. And T cells are the cells that help to remove infections in cancerous cells. Okay. So this is all part of your immune system, guys. And then the B cells are the ones that create the antibodies so your body can work and defend yourself against germs. So if you can pop in any extra natural things that can give you the natural C and stuff like that, that's definitely going to help. Also, we talk about this all the time too, that vitamin C is an anti-inflammatory, which we just learned this now, but it also lowers your stress response that's triggered by illnesses. Okay. And so I think that we have to remember, again, all of this stuff is going to actually be almost one big full circle. It's like, we talk about the circle of life. Well, let's kind of say the circle of health. Okay. Let's kind of look at it that way, right? That everything kind of comes around and it plays a very important part in our body. Okay. And so, and I do know that, flora also which is also in strawberries. It's a way to shave off hunger. And so if you can grab those strawberries opposed to grabbing the pretzels, it's like healthy choices, right? I mean, yeah, you want to have a couple pretzels, go for it if you have to, but make sure you get those strawberries in your body. And so I think this is the way that we're looking at it. We're kind of saying, hey, let's just research this all out. Now, one other little quick thing I'm just going to say, and I'm going to turn it over to you, Laura, is that we're going to talk about protecting your heart. Now, we have both, Lori and I highly encourage you guys, get a heart scan because your heart scan,
Right.
you can get it, especially Heart Healthy Month and some of the hospitals. They offer this heart scan. It's a flat fee. It's like $49, something like that. And they literally scan your heart and they can tell you how you're doing with your cholesterol and your triglycerides and all that kind of stuff. So just wanted to pop that in there. It's a great thing to do. And Laura, I'm going to turn it to you because strawberries are so healthy for our heart. And you can.
Yeah, right, right. They are so healthy for our heart, also research shows that strawberries can prevent several conditions that can lead to heart disease and stroke, as well as diabetes. Okay. With the increases is likelihood of heart disease. Eating more strawberries can help you. I'm gonna tell you, last night I got up in the middle of the night and I have sometimes a habit of wanting to eat something. And I'm glad I had the strawberries in the refrigerator. I had a handful of strawberries. But strawberries would take away your sugar craving instead of eating candy and stuff. I have a habit. I don't know if anybody out there has that habit, but after I eat dinner, I feel like I have to eat something sweet. So
Mhm,
wouldn't it be great after you have your dinner to just have a few strawberries? They're
mhm.
saying strawberries have more vitamin C than oranges do.
That's
So
crazy.
great.
We always think vitamin C is an orange,
Right, right, right. And if you're a diabetic and you're having problems where your blood sugar is like decreasing, and believe me, it's terrible when you have low blood sugar. It's terrible. And you can't think, your mind's all over the place. They tell you to eat an orange, but strawberries would be just as good, having strawberries. And what's nice about it is you could take them and you could wash them and put them in bag, cut the tops off of them and put them in baggies and put them in your purse or something. And they're not going to go bad,
Mhm,
especially this time of year. And then in the winter time, you could buy the frozen ones,
mhm,
they have them all over the place. But going back to your health, you really need to work on eating those for your heart disease. So many of us have that in our families, and we see our future going that way. So strawberries would be a great thing. Like Debbie talked about that scan, it's amazing. I found out I had a couple arteries that were starting to get kind of, with stuff on it. So they told me I just had to watch and that. But now the next thing is lowering your cholesterol. I mean, they did a small study that shows that the participants that they drank like a strawberry drink type thing, um, that their cholesterol went down to 5% and lower the cholesterol. And
wow.
so, you put, I'm sure a lot of you like those smoothies with the strawberries, the frozen strawberries in them, and maybe you put some protein powder in there. And it's just fantastic. So you're lowering your cholesterol, and then there was another study, freeze dried strawberry powder. Okay.
Mhm,
So, um, but they consumed the drink for 2 months. Researchers compared the results of the group that just drank with more water. And those who sipped the strawberry drink saw that their cholesterol decreases by 10%. So how you drink it, is you're going to do it with a powder or you're going to do it in another way. You're going to lower your cholesterol. Okay. And the next thing is a very, very, very very neat thing, triglycerides. A lot of people really suffer with high triglycerides. So Debbie, I'm
mhm.
gonna hand it over to you.
Yeah, hey, listen, this kind of like is going back to that heart healthy test too, Laura. It's like, when they look at the different items, and you need to be able, like if you're a person that needs to like curb those and get those numbers down, we're throwing these strawberries into the mix now because strawberries can do so much and I love it. And it says triglycerides, which are something that are found in your blood, okay, increase the risk of heart disease. So if strawberries are going to help you decrease that and it's going to be good for you, then again, here we go. This is a great way. When the triglycerides are in your blood, they have sticky deposits that actually are like contained in the blood vessels. So
Yeah,
this is a scary thing. It's not a good thing. It says by eating a pound of strawberries a day, which, a pound of strawberries, I wonder how many strawberries are in a pound container. Because if you go like this, let's just say like these are 4 ounces, right? So this is like, it really isn't that much. It's enough, but not too much. Even if you could space it out and eat half a container an hour and half later, it's saying that it will reduce your triglycerides by 20%. 20%
Wow.
is
That's
substantial
huge.
because they start to have these markers when they tell you when there is buildup and it's at certain percentages.
Yeah,
And I don't
right.
have, when you do a scan like this, they give you a whole printout that tells
Yeah.
you all where you're at and what the levels are to be concerned about. So anyways, they also found in another study that that amount of strawberries also reduced your cholesterol by 8%. Now, 8%, when you look at the whole total number, that really can be substantial. That could be kind of swing you in an area where you're out of that place that you shouldn't be. Also, multiple diseases like, heart disease, as we spoke about, poor diet, smoking, and all that kind of stuff can completely be the wrong thing. Well, here, as we're talking about trying to be the best version of yourself, trying to do the healthy choices, try to just switch it up. Okay. Get rid of those habits and try to go to the good ones. Because what is it, guys? We're looking at like, all right, as you get older, now I know there's a lot of younger people watching, but as you get older, you start to almost have that, come to reality check of like, wait a minute, I've been eating this wrong. I've been doing this and look what's happening. And this is my result. Okay. Just make these simple choices, and change it. Okay. Eating more, also strawberries. There's this item called flora in there, I guess. And I guess that's supposed to be something really good. Now, these are things that we're putting up, and we're also saying that you can do research yourself. Like, we're no expert on this, but this is
Right.
also that's really good for you. And is another way that you can, boost those antioxidants and boost that anti-inflammatory effect, which we were just talking about, like a big circle. Okay. It's a circle of, health, so this one I'm going to turn to you, Lori, because you understand this
Yeah.
very well. And
Right.
and I want to just kick in there too, how proud I am of you of like recognizing this. We've been doing this for the health and wellness of you segment for, okay, this is, you know what? This is like our little anniversary time, I think, because was it 2 years ago or 3 years ago? This
Uh,
is good. I can't even think right now.
I was in, when did the,
2020. Yeah, 2020.
so this is our third, we're going
So
in
listen
year.
to this. I want to say how proud I am of Lori because she has changed her health, and she made a decision. Okay. And she's done so many great things, but she wants, this is a good topic here for you to cover right here about the blood
Yeah,
sugar, Lori.
right. Well, thanks, Deb, for everything.
Yeah.
You're my inspiration.
We
So,
work well together.
okay, thanks. So, type 2 diabetes is very, very big in this country. There's so many people with, you go and when you have diabetes, your life changes, okay? And it changes in many ways. You don't realize it changes, but what happens is you don't think right, you fall down a lot, you get cuts and bruises maybe, and they don't heal enough. And the first thing to go with diabetes, if it's not taken care of, is your eyes. And so it's scary out there. But with the way it is now today, with all the different types of insulins and stuff like that, it's pretty manageable. Okay. So, but we're finding out that strawberries can help your sugar levels. Okay. It's a great way. We just talked about this. It's a great way to satisfy your sweet tooth. Okay.
Right.
Great way. You could have for dessert, you could have, or have in the house, you could have some Cool Whip in the refrigerator, and they have the reduced fat one or the low fat, or they even, if they have a sugar-free one. Keep it in the refrigerator, put some in a cup, or put some in a bowl, and take some of the strawberries out and dip them in there. And there's low carbs in the Cool Whip. I do that all the time. So that's a very satisfying dessert. But at the same time, you're getting the nutrients that you need to do, And they did another study but people ate strawberries with a piece of white bread released 26% less insulin compared to eating bread with a cucumber.
Wow.
So having a strawberries, I see, I didn't read this earlier. That's fantastic. With a piece of white bread released 26% less insulin. Participants also ate the bread with berries, including raspberries and cranberries. Other strawberries weakened the post-meal blood sugar spike. So what happens after you eat when you're diabetic, especially at dinner time, you have a tendency of eating more than the rest of the meals during the day. Your body has to fight off the insulin high because you go to at insulin high. All right. And what happens is you get really tired. So a lot of people after they eat dinner that are diabetics, they get real tired and have to take naps. And it's because
Yeah.
the body's trying to fight that insulin spike. So strawberries are a great addition to your healthy diet, especially when you eat them on their own. Here's a whipped cream, ice cream, low calorie ice cream is great, but it does make you full because there's a lot of fiber in the strawberries. So, try strawberry smoothie. That's kind of interesting. Make these strawberry pretzel squares. And
They're very good. Yes.
if you have,
Yes.
is it the one with the strawberries and the jello and the
I
and
think it is. Yeah. And there's coolip or something in there. It's kind of creamy. It's good. Yeah.
we'll have to look that up and put that out there. But that's all I have on as far as the blood sugar. But I know, W, that we were able to get the nutrient facts in the strawberries. You see that?
Yes, actually, okay, so there's only 32 calories per half a cup, which is nothing, you guys. I
Yeah,
mean, when you're like looking at honestly,
yeah.
and there's 90%, 91% water,
Okay.
point 0.7 grams of protein, 7.7 carbs, which isn't bad, sugar 4.9. And because there's 2 grams of fiber, that offsets some of the carbs too,
Right.
but there's 0.3 grams of fat. So when
Right.
you look at that, it's more of these, most berries come with like simple sugars. So they're easier for your body to break down and it's better for you. So the fiber is a key though. I'll tell you the
Oh,
fiber.
yeah.
And then of course, outweighing everything too is, the vitamins and the minerals. So strawberries are a very good pick to have, So,
Yeah.
and usually they're pretty much of a favorite, people love them,
Yeah, I don't know too many people that don't like strawberries at all.
right.
But we were so great to be able to do this today, and I hope that you learned stuff that you didn't know before, and you go out and buy strawberries for our favorite holiday, 4th of July. Strawberries are great, and blueberries are great too. But I am so glad we got to do this today, Deb, and I'm looking forward to doing more about, putting out there when these particular fruits are in their maximum, their seasons.
Hmm.
If anybody knows it, but I actually started in the produce business before the business. So I grew up eating all kinds of fresh fruit. And we were not allowed to have like snacks like everybody else, like chips and stuff like that. We had to eat fruit. So, so when I got older, I didn't want to eat fruit as much, but now I'm going back to it because I know it makes you really healthy and stuff.
Right.
So anything you want to say, Deb?
Nope, I was just gonna say a couple of just quick reminders. We're just sticking to, summer fun and just doing Wednesday episodes. We are very thankful that we're gonna have our, 4th of July holiday coming up here, and this is a great time for everybody to celebrate. But be safe, you guys out there, because as much as we love the festivities and the fireworks and everything, it can be dangerous with fireworks. So be careful, whatever you're doing. And with that, Laura, I'm going to just say, when you want to close us out.
I sure will. Happy 4th of July for everybody. And we look forward to seeing you after the 4th of July, the day after. So with that, I'm going to say, I'm Lori.
And I'm Debbie.
We're friends helping friends. Take care, everyone.
Take care. Bye-bye.